All right, so we have here an acrylic painting. It's just a quick one layer. I wanted to cover up all of the white spots, but you might notice that it looks a little bit different than my picture right here that I was working from. I was working from 2 red apples, and I painted the apples green. And this is a technique that's used by many artists. It has been throughout the last 100 years or so. Wayne Thiebaud is one of my favorite artists, not spelled like the football player, but it sounds like it, who does this method a lot. And what you do for this first layer, this underpainting is what we call it, is you would look at a color wheel or think about a color wheel in your head if you can remember the pairs of complementary colors or colors that are across the color wheel from each other. And for any color that you see in your original image, you want to find that color's complement and then paint that color's complement onto your canvas. So if I look at the color wheel, green and red are across from each other, so that's why these apples are predominantly green, because we want to paint this first layer with the color's complement. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so the background here is purple. I know it's a little bit hard to see here, so then I painted that yellow. And I want to keep in mind, too, the tints, the tones, and the shades of each color. So we have, like, the mid-tone colors on the color wheel. If you see here, this area right here is a little bit lighter in my photograph, so I painted that a little bit lighter. So still using the tints, tones, and shades and keeping them the same as they are in your reference photo, but then just switching the colors. So in this demo, I'll work towards getting this piece to look a little bit more like this one, and I'll show you the result and kind of explain the result. So now this is the little bit easier part. We're just working to create what we actually see. But I want to intentionally leave some of these, and this is I apologize, it's really glary. I want to, guys, stop talking. I want to leave some of these colors showing through, so I don't want to cover everything. And the reason for that is that since complementary colors are so different from each other, it creates kind of an active composition. Your eye has to work a little bit harder to decide, or the complementary colors rather kind of compete for each other's attention. So it creates an active composition. That's why complementary color schemes are used a lot in design work, in logos, because it's just visually interesting and active and kind of captivating to look at. So, sorry, that's so, let's see here, hold on. We can get another light source. That doesn't help. One moment. This might be better. Is that better? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, okay. Sorry. We'll work with this. So creating, and I'll leave these up so that you can see them a little bit better, but letting those complementary colors show through just a little bit.
So that's right. When we actually do this project, are we going to have a certain subject, or?
Nope. Guys, stop talking. Evan, do I need to move you? Do you want to come sit by me? You know that you've hit a good point in your life when a punishment is here. Come up here and sit by me. I don't know anywhere else where I would have to say that and have it mean something negative. Kind of bums me out. So, Crystal, that was a really good question. Crystal asked, when we do this, are we going to have to, have a subject chosen for us? No, whenever I teach you a bunch of techniques, I want you to be able to choose your own subject matter. So, either you're creating something along the lines of a certain concept, so I choose the subject matter and then you choose the technique, or vice versa. So since I'm showing you a bunch of techniques, you pick one you like the best, and then you can paint whatever you'd like. Just kind of a note, guys, if you're thinking about taking AP at all, you should be working from source material that is your own, so photographs not from the internet, because you're not able to submit copywritten pictures for the AP exam. If you're not, that's okay. You don't have to follow that rule. Okay, so here I'm keeping some of that yellow showing through. Anybody have any questions about this method? I'll leave these examples up, like I said. Take a look at them. Any other questions? And then, since this here is purple, it's really light purple, I painted it a really light yellow. It's also, this method, you get to hide like kind of subtle like color secrets. And it's that way more interesting for the viewer to see. It lends itself to a little bit more experimental painting. So if you're somebody that likes to paint in a painterly style, so kind of leaving brush strokes, leaving patches of color, this might be a good thing to try. It also kind of reintroduces you or refamiliarizes you to color theory, which if you're thinking about taking, it's beachwear day tomorrow. My phone just told me. If you're thinking about taking an art class in college, it's a good thing to think about. That was so important that it had to pop up. All right. So that is complementary color underpainting. So if nobody has questions, I'm just going to move on to the next demo.